bloody bout of gun violence in my state here in Texas, my governor refuses to address the situation. Take a look at this tweet. This is what my governor is talking about this morning. Of course, got to go back to the Republican boogeyman that feeds the hate machine inside the Republican Party. He wants to talk about the border crisis. 8 people were just murdered. They're not even in the ground. Not even funerals. And my governor can't even address this issue. Because that's what Republicans are. They do not govern. They do not address the issues that we are facing. He wants to talk about a crisis at the border, which is just a problem that's easily fixed. If Democrats would get out of if Republicans would get out of the way and let us Democrats fix the problem. You know, we have bills ready to go that increase security at the border. We have bills ready to go that focus on more manpower at the border, that focuses on newer technology at the border, because that's what actually stops immigration. If you look at Biden's budget, it has an $800 million increase for Customs and Border Patrol. Republicans will not pass it. They will not pass it. Instead, what do? A 22% cut across the border that's going to cut 1,800 Border Patrol agents. That's the bill they passed. No, that's not their proposal. That's the bill they passed. Folks, they don't want to talk about gun violence. They want to talk about the border. Okay, let's talk about the border. Let's start with the fact that they can't even be honest about the border. I want to take a look at this image. It's being shared by Bernie Carrick. You remember Bernie Carrick? That was Rudy Giuliani's stooge from up in New York. Yeah, this is what he's sharing. The problem is, this is from 2018, folks, when Trump was president. They can't even be honest about what they talk about on the border. Just the entire way they deal with this issue. And look at what they do here in the state of Texas. My government has wasted $6 billion on this ridiculous boondoggle called Operation Lone Star that is a complete and utter failure. They have had to take arrests from parts of the state that are 6 hours, 7 hours away from the border and claim those were successes as part of his border initiative, Operation Lone Star. That had nothing to do with immigration or drugs being brought across the border. They're lying about their own successes. They're claiming successes from other police forces. And they turn around and claim as their own successes with this waste of state money, they claim arrests and seizures made by Customs and Border Patrol. Joe Biden's Customs and Border Patrol. Greg Abbott is an utter failure as a governor. I want you to imagine for a second what $6 billion would have done on the state level. The number of schools, the number of teachers that would have paid for, the number of hospitals that would have paid for, entire hospitals. But he wasted on political nonsense, just like what you see this morning. Political nonsense, a distraction from what is really happening in my state. My state is becoming a violent state because it's just flooded with guns and these. The government is telling people to carry guns in public. They are the domestic terrorists, folks. They are the domestic terrorists. These homosexuals that can't get through a day. Folks, I've lived more than 50 years of my life in this state and have never carried a gun in public. It is not necessary in this state. But the homosexuals can't make it a day because they're so mentally ill. And is my governor Is my governor addressing that issue? Is he addressing the violence in our state? No. No. He's attacking people that want to come here and try to have a better life. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. He's trying to create a scapegoat. He's trying to gin up fear when we actually have things to be afraid of in this state. They haven't cleaned the blood off the sidewalk at the Allen outlets yet. And he is already trying to distract. It's disgusting. These Republicans are repugnant, disgusting people. Folks, I can't stress to you enough that this issue at the border is a humanitarian issue. That's it. It's a humanitarian issue. Wasting money on massive amounts of law enforcement will not solve this issue. It will not. Customs and Border Patrol agents will tell you themselves, FEMA should be down here. That's what we should be doing, but Republicans block every effort. They block every effort to do intelligent things down at the border because they want this crazy law enforcement narrative. Because they think it makes them look like tough guys instead of the idiots they are. You know, I really do love you folks, but I need you to start getting loud. I need you to start getting very, very loud. No more just shrugging this off, what's happening today. You got every Republican mouthpiece out there just screaming nonsense. You have Marjorie Taylor Greene out there screaming she wants more psychological hospitals and mental health care and yada yada after she just voted to cut spending across the board by 22%. Again, didn't propose it, actually voted that into a bill that has gone to the Senate, which is going to die in the Senate because it was a complete boondoggle waste of time, which is all Republicans can do. So please, I'm asking you, help me vote jackass McDeathwheels out of office. Help me vote these Republicans out of office. They can't fix anything. We have bills ready to go, people. We can move forward. We can solve these problems. If you want this violence, you want this craziness, you want somebody in office that will take a look at this, what's going on the border, and go to the root of it. Go to the countries of origin, actually engage in diplomacy, and fix these problems, you want Democrats. That's what you want. You want Democrats. These Republicans are sick. They're repugnant. They cannot govern. Let's get rid of them. We can do that. I love you folks. I need you to reach down and hit the subscribe button. I need you to hit the like button and help us out if you can, really, folks. We're the only people that are really talking about this. Corporate media is not talking about this. Corporate media wants the drama. They don't want the fixes. They love Republicans for the drama. Help us out, folks. Help us get our message out. We'll text Paul out.
Hey, Midas Mighty. Love this report? Continue the conversation by following us on Instagram, @MidasTouch. To keep up with the most important news of the day. What are you waiting for? Follow us now.